Hello, lovely Libras, and welcome back to my channel, or hello if it's your first time here. I'm doing a shadow reading today, which means if you may get triggered. It may bring things up that, hit you a bit hard. It may bring things up that you think, oh, ouch, yeah, I do that actually. The point of a shadow reading is to do work on ourselves, on the parts of ourselves that we don't like looking at, or, the things that we keep bottled up, the things that we push down, and, it could be things like things from childhood, things people have said to us, the things that we avoid. So you can find things like attachment issues. Sorry, I've got a little tiny hair in my mouth. Like attachment issues, or imposter syndrome, and all these kind of like things that affect us as adults tend to sometimes be because there's certain behaviours that we've developed over time due to things that have happened in the past, or just our natural behaviour that we can work on and kind of try and improve. So we all have light and dark energy, and this is kind of the purpose of shadow work, is to kind of look at the parts of ourselves that maybe aren't quite so great or need a little bit of work. So it does tend to trigger people. If it does, it's doing its job. But if you're not in the mood for that today, I don't know, maybe you've got a big interview coming up or something, or it's not a good day to get emotional and get in the feels, then just leave it for another day, another time. Especially if you're doing something like therapy or something already, it might not be the best compliment. So go for professional, qualified advice first. But this is just, it's like anything. It's like a mirror to kind of compare ourselves against and say, is that me? Do I do that? Could I improve myself? So if you're ready for it, great. If it's not for you today, that's absolutely fine. You can go and have a look at an old reading, or wait for the next reading. I promise I'll do something nicer next week. What do I have for you? When I was shuffling this deck, the Empress card and the Star card were actually already reversed in the deck. I don't think it happened when I was shuffling. I think I must have shuffled and put them away and not realised. So I feel like that's a message for you, especially with the Empress being your card in the tarot. You share it with Taurus. It's Venus energy. It's actually one of the best cards, so it's very complementary. I'm a Libra as well. It's very complementary to have the Empress, who's kind of like all four queens of the tarot, as our card. But we're Libra, so we're fabulous, darling. And combined with the Star card as well, that is another very, very positive card. So you've got two of the most powerful cards in the entire tarot already coming out in your reading today. So I'm not supposed to be sat here saying how awesome you are, Libra, but this is what the cards are saying. Who am I to argue? Maybe we've already done the shadow work. I don't know. Maybe it does actually feel like some of you have been doing the shadow work already. You're doing quite well with it. The universe is going to reward you with some amount of success. Otherwise, it could be that you're getting very empowered right now to go ahead and follow your dreams and kind of like do what you need to do to make your own dreams come true. Like, I don't need anyone to bring me my dreams. I can go and get them. That kind of energy. So we'll see what comes out when we actually pull cards on camera. I did also see the King of Pentacles. Now, it did come out reverse, which can be a bad thing, but the song that I got at the exact same time intuitively, as soon as I saw this King of Pentacles card, was What a Man by En Vogue and Salt and Pepper. Now, I haven't heard that song for so long, and I had to actually look up. I couldn't remember who sang it, but it's that what a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. So you may have somebody around you who is a mighty good man, possibly an earth sign, possibly a Taurus, but it doesn't have to be. But it's that kind of like reliable, steadfast, loyal, dependable, gorgeous energy. Or it could be, maybe with it being in reverse, you don't have that, but you want that. It could be, depending on how you identify, perhaps you are a really good man and very, very loyal. So again, doesn't matter too much the gender of the card. It's more about the energy of the person coming through. So it's either you or it's somebody else, and it's up to you to kind of discern who's who in your own reading. So yeah, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. But the thing is, the other song that actually randomized for you on Spotify was Loyal by Paloma Faith. Now, that song, she says, maybe we're loyal, maybe we're not. We've got our secrets. But what a man, she's actually saying, she says something like, I've never even seen him look at another girl, something like that. So in that song, he's loyal. But there's like gossip and chatter. She's like, I don't listen to the gossip. She says something like this, if you go and look at the lyrics of the first verse. So it could be that perhaps you are loyal, you and your partner are loyal, but you're hearing gossip about, you know, people are like, he said, she said, I saw him do this, he was talking to that person. It's almost like, maybe don't listen, you know them better than that. Or it could be almost like vice versa, like maybe they're not loyal, but I don't know. But there's some question about loyalty there. Yeah, I don't want to frighten anybody, right? It could be, we could take it different ways. The name Paloma Faith as well. Paloma is a very Libran word to me, because I believe it's maybe the word for dove, and it's linked to peacefulness and harmony. So very Libran energy coming through there. I think maybe that's what you want. You want peace, you want loyalty, you want to have faith in your partner and the relationships around you. Now, some of the intuitive messages I got, hello car, I'm sorry, it's going to be a bit noisy, I have to have my window open, it's so warm in the UK today, so there is going to be background noise. As soon as I started tuning into your energy, I saw sparkles, like almost like fireworks going off, or confetti, or something like this. It was like colourful sparkles, so it felt like celebration. It could have also been like Christmas lights, you know, that kind of like colourful lights, colourful dots, so fireworks, Christmas lights, that kind of thing. Christmas lights at this time of the year, probably not. Fairy lights maybe. Sorry, very noisy all of a sudden. All the vans have decided to move all at the same time. Goodbye van, have a lovely day. There we go. And I was kind of getting this feeling of like people coming up to you, like excited. It's almost like people celebrating you, especially with that star card. I don't know if you're like, you're going to get some kind of like reward or recognition, or you know, like job well done, here you go, congratulations kind of thing. Yeah, it feels like something's going to happen. It's going to be like, or maybe like party poppers as well. It could be party poppers, and it's like people coming up to you. So maybe it could be like your birthday, but yeah, it's this like people wanting to talk to you, people wanting to congratulate you, people wanting to ask you about something kind of coming through. I got ear shell, like literally like holding a shell to your ear, like ear shell. Like, so I don't know what that means. Are you listening to the ocean in a shell? Maybe you've got like a shell earring or something. Maybe you need to listen to someone called Shelley. I got the name Edgar, like Edgar Allan Poe. I got it's kind of like middle name energy off that. Then I got the colour red, and actually I heard the word red. I felt a touch on my head, and then I heard light. So I don't know if it's red light, like stop, hold back, you know, warning sign, red light, don't go right now, or if it was two separate words like red and light. So take that as it resonates. I got the number 2 twice, so I don't know if it's like 2 and 2 is 4, or if it's the number 22, or it's like the number 2, but it was repeated to me, so I don't really quite understand, but I think it's 22. Now I'm actually recording this on Thursday the 22nd. It's intended to go up on Monday, but I'm getting the number 22, so something could happen or have happened to you on the 22nd. It could be a significant number for you at this time, so do watch out for it. I really feel that there's a huge significance to this, because when I checked on my phone the date, it was 1551, so there was a mirror number, 1551, so 1351. So definitely watch out for number patterns, especially you know, 2s, 4s, especially patterns of 22 and mirror numbers and repeating numbers. I feel like it could be the universe trying to get your attention right now. There's definitely something with that. 15, 51, 22. Okay, so let me have a quick drink of my water, and then we'll start pulling you some cards on camera. I've got a big thing of ice in it. I don't know what that dirt is. I've had it in the freezer. Maybe I need to clean my freezer. I don't know. Right, okay, so I've got a wet hand now. I'm trying to like wipe it off on my cards. Now I'm using the Aleister Crowley deck. If you Google him, he's quite a controversial figure. This deck was gifted to me, which was very, very nice, and it took me a while to kind of understand how to use it. I was a little bit scared of it, if I'm honest, but it works great for shadow work, for bringing up like that kind of shadow energy. I'm just checking I'm still recording. So yeah, let's get into it. It works so well for shadow readings, so I really like that I've got this relationship with this deck now, after being a bit nervous about using it at first. Okay, here we go. You've got, oh, Dominion on the bottom, the Two of Wands. That's really interesting, because I think I got the word indomitable in your last reading. Dominion. Does that mean like domination, or like your domain? Dominion. I mean, if you're the Empress, you're going to have some sort of authority or rule over others. So it's got Aries on there. That's the sign of Aries, isn't it? And I'm seeing the Magician as well there. And Luxury, the Four of Cups. So I'm just seeing it. This looks to me like Aries, right? And this looks like Mars. Mars in Aries energy. Woof. That is... that's like doubling up on that, because Aries is ruled by Mars. So you could, maybe Mars is up to something in your chart at the moment that might be worth looking up. Oh, the Emperor as well, no way. You could be connected to an Aries, or you could have strong Aries in your chart. You could be dealing with somebody right now who is in strong divine masculine energy. He's in the upright. You might need to work on your own masculine energy, standing up for yourself, taking the lead. We all have that yin-yang, masculine and feminine energy within us. I know I'm using gendered terms. Just be aware that gender is very fluid in my tarot. So while I'm using perhaps stereotypical language, anyone can be in any of these energies. So just be aware of that. I don't mean to stereotype, but I have to have the language to explain what's happening. So this is going to be... You may... Because this is your shadow energy, so you may have issues with authority, or you may be quite authoritative, which came through in your last reading, especially because I saw the Empress card. You may need to step into a more authoritative energy. You may need to take the lead in something. I'm hearing leadership position, so perhaps you're going to go for some sort of leadership position. Very interesting, because I've been getting Emperor energy a lot for Libra recently. Even in like Capricorn had a reading where they were dealing with somebody who was coming in like in quite a scary way, and it turned out to be this very, very Libran, an emperor who like wanted to negotiate, an emperor who wanted to build a peaceful society, an emperor who literally wanted to give other people like power, you know, to share the power. So it came through as like almost like a very diplomatic leader. So there could be something going on for you like that. Can you see the card? Is it still on camera? It is indeed. Right, I'm going to read from the book for you, and we'll find out a little bit more about what this says. Again, we're talking shadow work that we need to do. I'm saying we because I am a Libra myself. So Aries, pioneer, discoverer, leader, initiator, creative wisdom, great leadership qualities, urge for action, adventurousness, new beginnings, fatherhood, authority. The Emperor is portrayed as a crowned man in a majestic gown. The globe with the Maltese cross, the symbol of imperial dignity, represents the unification of wisdom and worldly mastery. His throne, which glows with the fiery colours of Mars and the sun, is ornamented with the heads of wild Himalayan rams. His sceptre also bears this symbol of power and adventurousness. The reclining lamb with the flag of peace represents the other aspects of the ram. The qualities of true leadership include humility and submission to cosmic law. So true leadership. Sorry, I've got a couple of things to say. I'm just waiting for that card to pass. So I just realised as I was reading that Aries is the opposite. If you look on the chart of the 12 houses, Aries is opposite Libra. So it's almost like the the chalk to our cheese, if you like. So maybe we're being asked to embrace more of that opposing energy and take a little bit of that on. How can we use that in our own lives? You know, Libra is typically an energy that can be a bit of a pushover, especially around friends and people we love. We don't want to let people down. We want to support people. We don't want to rock the boat. We like things to be peaceful and harmonious. We do definitely have a slight bossy nature. We're a cardinal sign, and we do definitely shout a little bit when we're upset, but on the whole we want things to be balanced, we want things to be fair, we want things to be peaceful. It's typical Libra energy. Again, depending on your full chart, you could be a Libra and have a whole, you know, you could have a Mars in Aries placement and be very, very fiery, but generally Libra by itself is a very diplomatic energy. So yeah, really interesting, the true qualities of true leadership, because we're not talking about like somebody who is a false emperor, somebody who holds other people down, who crushes others to rise to the top, somebody who has control issues. We're talking about somebody who is a natural leader and has a huge amount of responsibility, almost like the power thrust upon me kind of energy. So the true qualities of true leadership include humility and submission to the cosmic law, as well as dynamism and power. A deep understanding and a constant consideration of the will of the whole are also necessary. So thinking of the greater good, right? A ruler with these qualities is filled with a tremendous compassion, which will allow him or her to sacrifice the self for the good of the whole. Sacrifice the self for the good of the whole. What's also interesting is there are a lot of politicians, quite successful politicians, who have Libra in the chart. I mean, you might love them, you might hate them. You know, the politicians are always going to be controversial. I share my birthday with, not the year, but the date. I share my birthday with Vladimir Putin. So, yeah, it's not... Anyone who thinks a Libra can't be an emperor is yeah. The double eagles symbolize the inner and outer changes brought about by the creative energy of the sun, and also refers to the emperor's creative energy. He heralds the beginning of an enterprise or a new phase in life. The new beginning may be an extension or expansion in the realm of rule, dominion, right? Where's it gone? Where are we up to? This new beginning may be an extension or expansion in the realm of rule, dominion or mastery, or the conquering of new territories, also symbolised by the Emperor's legs, crossed in the form of the number 4. Compare also to the Prince of Wands. On the material plane, the new beginning may mean a promising new project, a change in career, travel, or fatherhood. I may have a bit of difficulty with fatherhood. Okay. On the inner plane, new realization. Maybe you're dealing with your dad. Maybe it's daddy issues, right? Can relate. On the inner plane, new realizations may emerge. Insights in areas previously unfamiliar. Discs to the left and right exploding with stars. Funny that I saw fireworks, right? Or dramatic self-revelation and self-discovery are also possible. As long as the Emperor's powers are used for transformation and new beginnings, their effect is beneficial. But beware using them to preserve the status quo. So that might be the shadow word there. Beware using them to preserve the status quo. When used to preserve the status quo, the structure of the Emperor's realm petrifies. His boldly determined expression becomes frozen. His authority, once grounded in wisdom, expresses as authoritarian domination. Living in fear of change, he attempts to nip any rebellion in the bud. He is then doomed. His own resistance to the flow of the Tao, T-A-O, sooner or later will topple his reign. Indication. This is a propitious moment for change or a new beginning. Trust your own energy and move with it. Libra, you need to learn to trust your own energy. And don't resist change. And to listen to the smaller voices, be very diplomatic, understand when people have complaints, listen to them, hear them out, take it seriously. Don't try to crush rebellion, because that's almost like your doom, right? Questions. What revitalization does your life need? So this is a question for you. What revitalization does your life need? Are there steps you would like to take towards this? So it feels like your life needs a bit of a shake-up and you need to take control. This is like what you need to look at. Suggestion, examine yourself critically. Well, we have got very critical minds, so we should be good at that, criticizing ourselves, especially in regards to your relations with subordinates and superiors. Affirmation, I trust my power, I rule by serving, I serve by ruling. I love that. I rule by serving, I serve by ruling. I'm going to make a note of that. That's going to be the title. I can't see my phone properly. Yeah, I really love that. I rule by serving, I serve by ruling. It's very Six of Pentacles, Six of Cups energy, like equal give and take. I give to you, you give to me, you know. It's very much like, now I studied Shakespeare and the early modern period and classical kings of Rome and emperors and the what's it called, I'm trying, not the Roman Empire, what came before it, the Roman Republic. I studied a lot of stuff at uni to do with the right to rule, who gets to rule, what makes a good ruler, what makes a bad ruler. And I really like the old English idea of kingship as a duty of care to the people. So it's not just the people who have the duty of care to the ruler, the person in charge. Now, we're not talking about necessarily kings, but you could be the head of a household, you could be an authority in the workplace, an authority in your community. There could be someone around you who is perhaps not the best ruler and you're challenging that. So there's a lot of ways that this can play out in your life. And you don't want to be domineering, you don't want to be suppressive. You know, I'm just thinking about that indomitable that I got in the last reading. You want to be gentle and nurturing. You want to be more of that Empress energy. I think, you know, a bit of both, right? To stay balanced. You know, we're all about the balance and the scales. And yeah, so it's not just the people who'd like give the king gifts. They would do that to say thank you for protecting us. Thank you for making sure societies run smoothly. Thank you for making sure that your people are looked after and defended, and, you know, the fields are ploughed, and all the things that are responsibilities that a leader needs to do. So I really like that duty of care style kingship. So I do feel like there's something like that going on. You know, a leader who knows that, almost like they're showing me, is it Aragorn from Lord of the Rings? He has like long hair, and he's kind of that kind of energy of a very grounded, noble leader of the people. I hope it's Aragorn. I hope I've got his name right. Okay, what else, please? Shadow energy for Libra. The father. Yeah, it might be daddy issues, guys. Let's be honest here. The one. I could be the one. Be the one. Be the one. It's funny, we saw that King of Pentacles. The father. So there could be something where perhaps you give your energy away to other people sometimes. You let other people, you may be very, very willing to let other people take the lead, or at least think they have the lead, right? maybe you let other people think they have the power. You know, it feels a little bit like the decision making behind the throne as well. You might be a father, as it said. It might be some kind of shadow work that you need to do in regards to your father. My dad, I love my dad to bits. He's such a good person, so many positive qualities. A bit of an entrepreneur. I really admire him for so many things. I admire him for giving up smoking when I was about 11. I thought that was such a great role model, you know, a great example for me. But he has got a very critical nature. He's a bit critical. Never happy with what I do, and it took me a long time to get over that, you know, to stop trying to please him, to realize that I don't have to please him, I just please myself. And maybe that's what's, you know, maybe ultimately that's what he wants me to do the things that are right for me and make myself happy and stand up and be authoritative. So yeah, it could definitely be. I'm talking about myself, but you know, sometimes these things are relatable. So I'm bringing my own daddy issues to the table for you all to compare and contrast to. But let's see. Let's read this father card. It could be the father of your children. You could be a father. It could be talking about your own father. It could be talking about masculine energy in general, you know, the patriarchy. So explore that, explore your ideas surrounding that, explore your ideas about what makes a good ruler, about masculine and feminine dynamics in society. There's probably something there for you to dig a little bit deeper into and to come to terms with within your own thought processes. Is there anything there that's holding you back? But let's read this father card. The Great Father, the masculine, the protector. Alongside the mother, the father resides in the central axis of the archetypal family. The father embodies both light and dark aspects of the masculine. Thus he is infinitely dynamic and complex. His energy is strong and regal, embodying such virtues as honesty, wisdom and loyalty. They just keep showing me that person from Lord of the Rings, and I'm really sad that I don't know for sure what his name is. He has like this doggish look to me. He's got like long hair, like nice eyes. I've got face blindness, so it's really hard for me to explain what people look like, but I can see his face. Like they're showing me his face. I know who he is. Yet ironically and simultaneously, the father is often absent, literally or emotionally. Through absence or action, the father eventually reveals that he is neither a king nor a god, but a human being with many flaws and wounds. He is both the guardian and the one who leads us to the wolves. Yet, here yet gone, the champion and the failure. The father can never resolve or escape this duality. It's inherent in the archetype itself. Witnessing the father's limitations allows the child to grow beyond the family and into the world. So I'm actually going to show you that because I think there's a lot to unpack there. So maybe pause the reading, read that through yourself, you know, and just see what stands out to you there, because as I say, there's quite a lot there. Really, really interesting card. And like, as I say, I've done a lot of work in terms of like leadership, that patriarchal energy throughout history. You know, what makes a good man? You can go back to ancient Rome and ancient Greece and look at their kind of, excuse me, ambulance, could you not? I mean, I'm sure they have, their job is more important than mine right now, right? So yeah, some of you may be fathers, maybe you're looking at your own father, you know, thinking, what qualities did I inherit? Which qualities do I think are good qualities and which qualities do I think are bad qualities? What do I want to pass on to my own son? You know, very Aeneas with his father on his back, carrying his son by his hand as he escaped from Troy. A very, very important motif in Roman history. Yeah, what we inherit from those who went before, and what do we pass on to those we leave behind. You may be dealing with abandonment issues, perhaps if your own father wasn't present. And I mean, your father could be in the same room as you, but he could be distracted by work, he could be watching the telly, he could have his own addictions that he's dealing with, and even though he's physically in the room, he might not be emotionally or communicatively present. Yeah, so do take that as it resonates, but that's where your shadow work lies. Something in there for you to unpack. You may be dealing with, again, I don't know if I'm picking up on Librans who identify as masculine, or it's just that kind of like the yang side of ourselves, but it does feel like redefining what makes a good man, you know, redefining those stereotypical values that are placed upon us, and you know, the stereotypical expectations of society about what a man is and what a woman is, and exploring that a little and redefining it and working out you know, issues around toxic masculinity and things like this. You know, does a woman always have to be submissive to a man? What if that woman's well educated and that man is you know, missing, you know, a few tools short of the toolbox. You know, what happens if the woman's very, very skilled and the man does not have those skills? Should he still get the job over her? There's a lot there. There's a lot of political stuff there that I'm just going to leave to you, you know, for you to make up your own mind about these things. But also, there's something as well, you can flip that on its head and say, as a woman in today's society, we really are pushed to be everything. You know, we're pushed to have a career, we're pushed to be a great mum, we're pushed to have a perfect house, and all the time doing this while spending an hour on hair and beauty and makeup and, you know, clothes. And, you know, there's a lot of expectations to do with image, roles and responsibilities. We have to wear many, many masks and kind of be perfect at all of them. Otherwise people will criticize us. And this is my shadow energy coming up now. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go out with messy hair, with my messy house, with my messy kids, and you know what, at least we're happy and at least we're having fun. So yeah, you can flip that on its head and look at the roles and responsibilities of the feminine and whether that's right as well. I'm talking stereotypical again, you know. I'm not saying anyone has to do anything, but what if we want to be a housewife? You know, I gave up my job to raise my daughter and my son, and yeah, we should be able to do, no matter how you identify, we should be able to do whatever we want to do, whatever suits us as a person. And it shouldn't be up to others or society or tradition to dictate to us what we do and what our roles are and what our place is in that society. It should be based on merit and want, merit and desire. And you know what, if you want to be a supportive housewife and, you know, let your husband or dad or whoever take the lead, then, you know, that's absolutely fine as well, if that works for you. So yeah, I'm going to stop waffling on, but definitely a very, very interesting reading so far. And again, I'm like, whatever floats your boat, as long as you're not hurting anyone, as long as everybody's in agreement, do whatever you want, you know, whatever your views are, absolutely fine, and everybody's welcome to this reading, as long as you don't try and enforce your views and push your views onto somebody else, then, you know, fine, you know, absolutely fine. Yeah, so please don't get grumpy in the comments if anyone says something that you don't like. It's all right, just let them live their life and discover things on their own time. Freedom, yeah, freedom of, that's the real meaning of freedom of thought and freedom of expression. It's not shoot everybody else down if they have a different opinion to you. It's you can say, I don't agree with you, this is why I don't agree with you, this is my personal experience, this is the, you know, my evidence to support my view. If you still have that view, then that's up to you. There's freedom of thought and freedom of expression. Freedom of thought and expression isn't, this is the way, this is my thoughts, this is how it is. And I find that quite a lot with, now I'm left leaning, I find that a lot with people who are very politically correct. That can also go to extremes where they push other people to the fringes, and it almost makes like I'm hearing dichotomy, I don't know if that's the right word, a big split in society where it's like you're either this or you're that. The truth is, a lot of people are sort of here, you know, in between. There's a huge grey area, and that the black and white are both extremists, you know. So be in the melting pot, be in that space of, especially if you are in a position of power or authority, be willing to listen to both sides, be willing to understand that it's not just black and white, but a whole rainbow of views, and everybody has valid opinions, and you may ultimately judge that I don't agree with that opinion, but I respect your right to have it. If people are acting a certain way and suppressing or, you know, acting badly, there are laws regarding that, right? There's a reason we have laws, but just opinion, just voices, hear people out. I think there's something to that. I think there's a message in that. Hear them out, understand their point of view, even if you don't agree with it, you know, repeat it back to them. I understand that you feel this, I understand that you think this, here's what I think. You know, there's a way of doing it. If you're like, you're wrong, you're an idiot, that's just going to push them further into their corner. It's not the best way to I mean, why am I telling you, Libra, you are the master negotiator, the manipulator of the zodiac. You know, if you're talking shadow energy, you know how to win people around. You know how to, you know that you use that carrot rather than the stick. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Oh, Oberon. Oh, I've got shivers. That's a pretty cool dragon. Look at this, like, look at this energy. And as I say, there's all the toddlers are going home from nursery, and it's extremely cute. So you may hear them. Yeah, look at all this masculine energy here, typically masculine energy. I really feel like you could be getting picked for some kind of like leadership role, like you're going to be asked to take on that mantle of the Emperor. A mantle was given to me then intuitively. Okay, I'm so intrigued. I'm like, is this my reading? Is it though? It's like, am I going to be the Emperor? I don't know. Again, with like What a Man, that song, what a man, what a man, what a man. You might just be thinking about, what kind of man do I want to partner up with? Who do I want to choose as my Emperor? What makes a good man, and what do I want in my life? What do I need in my life right now? Who am I willing to partner up with? Especially with all those twos that I saw at the start of the reading. I'm just checking the timestamp again there. Yeah, but so, like, you can't make it up. Dominion, the Emperor, like this, they match, and then you got the Father, and I'm so curious to see what this one says. I mean, maybe you're getting freedom from an oppressive father figure. They're in the upright, but they have the light and shadow side, and we're doing shadow work. So the shadow side of the Emperor is somebody who's overly controlling, possessive, domineering, inflexible. And basically, the Emperor in reverse is somebody who doesn't have the right or the maturity to hold that position that they have. So you could be dealing with somebody like that. Such an interesting reading. There's so many different ways I could take it. Hey, oh, that's what she said. I'm sorry, I make terrible jokes, which is probably not politically correct of me. Reconnect to your physical body. Get out of your head. Libra, get out of your head. I need to hear that. So this is what you need to do. This is your shadow energy. This is what you can do about it, right? The steps you can take. If Oberon has turned up today, it is to reassure you that you can achieve what is required. It feels like you're stepping up, right? You may have to dig deep within yourself and maybe do this for the long haul, but you can and you will succeed. Funny, it's about success, right? This striking red dragon's connection, again with the red, this striking red dragon's connection is firmly grounded and in effect connects to our base chakra. He therefore relates to everything that makes up our physical lives and the world we create for ourselves. So really interesting how I got the colour red right at the start of the reading, and then look at this, like look at this energy that's coming through. So yeah, really connecting to your base chakra, your lower chakras as well, like your roots, your foundations, your sense of security, dependability, loyalty, you know, but also moving up like to your confidence, to your gut instincts, to your decision-making skills. So yeah, really working down there on those lower chakras. Oberon's message is a simple one. Nothing in this world you call home is insurmountable. Nothing is too big to deal with. Get your feet back on the ground and anchor yourself into your physical reality. Having your head in the clouds will not give you the answers you desire or require. Connect to your base chakra and reconnect to your physical body. Get out of your head and into your body. Release your ever tumbling and swirling thoughts. When you are more grounded in this way, you will be better placed to deal with the matters that are demanding your attention. You will then be able to handle them fully and with ease, freeing you to move forward. So you're being asked to step into Emperor energy, grounded, reliable, practical, they do what needs to be done, right? You're being asked to take on this energy right now. It's like get the job done energy. Your time is best spent tackling whatever is demanding your time. I know what that means to me. There is something that's quite important that I need to do that I keep forgetting to do. Deal with it totally, and then you will be in a position to move forward. Although Oberon is a tough talking dragon, sometimes you need to hear it as it is. He is a great ally when you need to get a job done and deal with the here and now. Auberon finishes his message with, seek the path of least resistance. The more you tussle with a problem, the tighter the noose becomes, eventually strangling the solution. Somebody else had that. I can't remember who it was, but somebody else literally had like, you know, the Chinese finger trap, where the more you pull, the tighter it gets, or like the vines in Harry Potter where they fall into it, and I've forgotten what they're called now because it's not for this reading, it's for a different reading, but the more you struggle, the tighter they get, and you had to like relax, and then they let you fall through. So yeah, path of least resistance. It's so funny because someone else had that and I don't know who it was. Right, so if you do this work, if you get into Emperor energy, if you do the job that needs to be done, if you get down and practical, get into your body, get physical. I want to get physical, physical. I mean, Libras, you know, if the cards are telling us, this is where it's going. So on the underline, you've got warrior woman. Whoa. Like, isn't that, if you identify as feminine, like, that is absolutely this energy of this reading. Have you answered your deepest calling? Sisterhood of the Rose. So here's that feminine energy coming back in. So masculine energy business, whatever that means to you. And it brings you into Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. That's like empress, high priestess energy, back to the divine feminine, right? And soul family, calling your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So it feels like reconnecting with feminine energies in your life. Now this again doesn't mean a man or a woman, but it's like people who are currently in that more feminine stereotypical energy of like the high priestess or the empress. It's like nurturing, bonding, understanding, psychic connections, compassion. Let's read it. So this is where you're going. So dealing with this takes you to this, which looks really good actually. I'm just looking up the meaning of the cards. Am I still recording? Yes. Sorry, it's just taking me a second to look it up. There it is, 78. Okay, Sisterhood of the Rose. So it says this is an action card. The Sisterhood of the Rose is a lineage of priestesses and mystics who devoted their lives to serving humanity and seeding light consciousness all over the earth. A cross-section of ancient lineages, it is the path of devotion and beauty. It's funny because over here with the Emperor, when we were having that discussion about who's in power, who supports, I was thinking about Tanaquil, who's one of my favourite Roman kind of like powerhouses. She's like a feminine figure from Roman history who's very, very interesting. I really love her, Tanaquil. And she supported her partner to become the king, and she took action when she needed to, but she did have like psychic powers. She could interpret the signs from the gods, so almost like this high priestess energy. So yeah, it feels like high priestess empress combined. So I feel like you could be supporting people who are in more masculine energy as well in the future. It's almost like maybe like you need to take the lead sometimes. You need to step up, you know, smooth things out, but then you're quite happy to step back and let other people take control again. That's how it kind of feels. But again, take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. You know, if you identify as masculine, maybe you're gonna have some very supportive women around you. I hope you can hear me okay. I've had to sit down, my knees are hurting. A cross-section of ancient lineages, it is the path of devotion and beauty. Walking this path means being devoted to seeing and creating beauty. That's very Venus energy, very Libra energy. Walking this path means being devoted to seeing and creating beauty wherever you go. So if the beauty doesn't exist, you will find it and create it. The rose symbolises the heart and the sacred geometry of all life. You are being called to notice the beauty around you, particularly in nature, and hear the whispers of Mother Earth. You are being called to spend more time in nature, as all the ancient secrets live there. Mother Earth is constantly whispering. Spend time admiring her creations, and you will be rewarded with insight and grace. You are being called to take a little more time to notice the beauty that exists all around you and contribute to the beauty of the world in your own way too. This could be through your own creations or in the little things like how you dress to picking flowers for your home. Is so typically Venus Libra energy. You know, the eye for detail, the eye for design, the eye for beauty. Finding the beauty and then drawing other people's attention to it. You know, I've taken pictures for Instagram of like sort of like I guess they're like wild roses or carnations growing at the side of a busy road, and they were beautiful. And I put them on Instagram. So that's the kind of thing. It's like you see that, you know, a lot of people would walk by that and ignore it, but you see it, you capture it, you share it, you draw attention to it. Very nice energy. Every time you devote your time to creating beauty, you harmonize the planet a little more, and the shift in vibration can be felt. Work your light action. Surround yourself with beauty and create beauty wherever you go. Like, fancy telling a Libra that. It's like you do that naturally. Like, that is what you do, Libra. That's what you're good at. Because we're ruled by Venus, Venus Aphrodite, who is the goddess of love and beauty. You know, a lot of people just saw her as like the sex goddess, but no, she was the goddess of all things bright and beautiful. You know, and the beauty of the physical body as well. You know, the beauty of nature. Our bodies are nature, and that should be celebrated. Something like that, perhaps. Soul family. I like your reading. It's my reading too, and I like it. It's making me feel good about myself. 80. So it's nice. I don't like it when I get those readings that are like, tidy up, Libra. It's nicer for me to hear, Libra, you are so good at bringing beauty into your world. You should make your surroundings more beautiful because you're so good at it. That's much better than clean your house, tidy up. Like, tell it me in the right way, universe. Soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. It is time for you to call in your soul family and support team. People who will get you at a soul level. People who are the same kind of... Here we go. People who are the same kind of weird as you. People who are your chosen family. They are coming and they are looking for you. If you haven't found them yet, this is a sign that they are close by. But in order for them to find you and recognize you when they do, it's important for you to stop dimming your light and let yourself truly be seen. If you have already found them, then you are being called to let them support you and perhaps also assemble a wider support team. Your support team can consist of all types of people, such as a therapist, coach, mentor, or healer. Tune into what kind of support you need right now. Okay, so yeah, call in your support team. Something interesting that I'm sort of being drawn to share is that I used to be the sort of person who would hide behind people in photos. If someone was taking a group photo, I'd kind of like be the person edging behind someone else so that like I wasn't on the photo. I used to hate pictures of myself. For some reason, when lockdown started, I started taking selfies, started working my angles, you know. I've been watching videos about how to pose on Instagram, and I've actually been doing that today. I've been doing like all these like, you know, testing it, putting it into action, and taking a lot of photos as well. And you know, maybe half of them I think they're terrible, I look awful on that photo, but then you get a few gems in there as well where you think, damn, I look hot on that photo, I got the pose just right, you know, my face expression was right. And it's building my own confidence. It's really, really good. And I'm not just doing it for me as well, I'm sharing it with especially the women around me. You know, women get judged a lot on their appearance. I think a little bit more so than men traditionally. If we look at like history and things like this, you know, men are judged on their achievements, women are judged on their beauty, typically, right? Not all the time. It's again, grey area. There's a lot of movement there, okay? I'm just talking typically. So yeah, so I do find that I'm talking to a lot of my friends, my female friends, and sharing it with them, like sharing my acne, like horrible pictures of me that I don't want to share because it makes me feel bad about myself. But then they all say, "You still look gorgeous." You know, they come in with that lovely support, and I'm like, "You're lying, but I love you." You know, and then sharing it with them, saying, "This is how I do my hair this way," you know. this is a great way to pose. And I you know, a couple of my friends have started to do it as well, and it's lovely to me to see their confidence building. So there could be something in there for you. I feel like I want to say to you, if you're one of those people who hides and feels like, you know, maybe it's a bit wrong if you make the best of yourself. Libra, this is another thing with Libran energy. We don't make the best of ourselves. We can be a little bit lazy sometimes where, you know, maybe we're a bit happier in comfortable clothes. Maybe we're a bit, you know, maybe we don't prioritize self-care all the time. This is my permission to you now to prioritize your self-care and to allow yourself to wear what you want to wear, do the things that make you look and feel good, be vain. I'm giving you permission to be vain, to be the center of attention, to be Queen of Wands energy, because you can't be the Empress if you're not all 4 queens. And the Queen of Wands, she is confident, she knows the kind of things that look good on her, she wears what she wants, she you know, she's not afraid to have people look at her and judge her, because she knows how awesome she is, because she decides what makes her feel awesome. And I'm giving you permission, Libra, if you need to hear it, whether you're male or female or, you know, non-binary, you have my permission and the universe's permission today to be who you want to be, wear what you want to wear, do the things that make you feel good, and don't give a flying F what anyone else thinks, because you know what, it's your life and you only have to feel good about yourself. And when you step into that confidence, when you step into that, when you get into that Queen of Wands energy, which I've been working on for the past year myself, it's very, very liberating. It's very powerful. And yes, people will judge you. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. There's going to be people who unfollow, because not everybody's ready to support people who are expressing themselves. And you know, it's, people are judgmental. The more judgmental someone is, the more shadow work they probably have to do. So the more supportive someone is, the more higher they probably are. So if somebody judges you, just be like, that person needs to do more work on themselves. That person is in that low vibrational judgy energy. You know, so, you know, if they're in low vibrational energy, why would I care what they think? And move towards those high vibrational relationships that support you, and understand you as well, and understand what you're doing when you post pictures of yourself and those selfies and things. If you need to hear that, there you go. That's for you. All right, whatever you took from that reading, I hope it was helpful to you. Do take care, Libra, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.